Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Hey friends, this is part 2 of the sticky situation explanation. If you haven't heard part 1, run over there, listen to part 1, and then come join me here for part 2. They began brushing their teeth together as they stared into the mirror. They watched as the melted chocolate coated their teeth and couldn't help but take a little taste as they brushed. The chocolate began to harden, and they assumed that meant they were done brushing. They washed the remaining chocolate off their toothbrushes and smiled into the mirror, waiting to see the sparkliest, cleanest teeth ever. But what they saw instead was a bunch of very chocolatey teeth smiling back at them. They don't look very clean, said Ivy. Maybe we just have to wait a little bit, replied Levi. You know, sleep on it, and in the morning, that's when we'll see the results. Oh yeah, that makes sense, said Ivy. Give the chocolate a little time to work its magic. Levi and Ivy nodded in agreement as they grabbed the bag of marshmallows that was nestled under the bath towels. I think we'll need the hairdryer for these too, said Ivy, holding a marshmallow on her head as she giggled. I don't see how this could help my hair look shiny and soft, but if I could run some marshmallow fluff through it, then I think we'd be going in the right direction. I'm one step ahead of you, replied Levi, already holding the hairdryer in his hand, ready to melt some marshmallows. Now they just needed a container to melt the marshmallows in. That's when they quietly emptied out one of the toys from their bath time toy bucket, wiped it out, and dumped in half the bag of marshmallows. They thought the more magical marshmallow hair treatment, the better. They even thought maybe their dad would be interested in trying it out. After all, he would be the only one in the house not to have tried it after Levi and Ivy were finished. The hairdryer whirled quietly and slowly, very slowly, melting the marshmallows into a sticky, gloopy goo. Do you think it's ready? Asked Levi. I think it has to be, replied Ivy. Mom and Dad will be coming up to bed soon. So they turned off the hairdryer, and she and Levi dipped their hands into the marshmallow mash and each pulled out a stringy, sticky glob to plop in their hair. Okay, on the count of 3, started Levi. 1, 2, 3. And on the count of 3, Levi and Ivy placed the sticky, gloopy goo in their hair. It definitely feels weird, but kind of cool, said Levi. I like it, added Ivy. Look, I could do pigtails, a ponytail, or even a mohawk super easily. The two laughed as they tried out different hairstyles before they decided to clean up. The bathroom was quite a mess, so it took them a little while longer than they thought to get it back to normal. I can't get all the melted marshmallows out of my bath time toy bucket, said Ivy. But we have to get to bed. Just put the toys on top of the marshmallows. We'll clean it tomorrow, answered Levi as he hid the half-full bag of marshmallows under the bath towels again and tossed the chocolate bar wrapper in the trash. They washed their hands, took one last look at each other, and headed off to bed. They both hoped that in the morning, after a good night's sleep, that the chocolate and marshmallows would have had all the time they needed to do their thing, leaving them with sparkly teeth and shiny hair. Levi and Ivy both totally trusted their mom and couldn't wait to see how great they looked in the morning. So off they went to bed, and shortly after their parents walked upstairs to do the same. Since they had already said goodnight to Levi and Ivy before heading off to do their work, they assumed their kids were asleep and went to bed themselves without seeing what Levi and Ivy looked like. The next morning, Levi and Ivy jumped out of bed and couldn't believe what they saw. Their teeth were bright and shiny, the cleanest they'd ever been. Nope. Their hair was soft, shiny, and super smooth? Well, not really. What they saw was quite the opposite. Their chocolatey teeth were still chocolatey, and their marshmallowy hair was still ooey and gooey. But trusting the process, they got dressed for school, hoping that at some point during the day, hopefully sooner than later, that they would see what their mom saw. Once again, Levi and Ivy's parents were busy working in their home office when they got up. However, they had planned ahead and already put breakfast on the table and packed Levi and Ivy's backpack with their lunches. They also left their kids a note on the kitchen table next to their cereal and fruit that said, "Good morning, Levi and Ivy. So sorry, but we have a video meeting this morning and won't be able to say goodbye in person before you leave for school. Have a great day. We love you and we'll see you when you get home. Love, Mom and Dad. Levi and Ivy, having no one around to comment on what they looked like, sat down, ate their breakfast, and headed out the door for school. Once they arrived there, well, that was a different story. There were plenty of people there to see them, and they had plenty of comments. Levi, Ivy, what did you two do to your hair? Was the first thing their friend Kyle shouted when he saw them walk up the sidewalk toward their school. Other friends gathered around asking the same question, but as soon as Levi and Ivy opened their mouths to answer, they all had another question. Why are your teeth brown? Asked their friend Cece. It looks like you brushed them with chocolate. We did! Exclaimed Levi and Ivy together. Thank you for noticing, and our hair is covered in melted marshmallow if you want to know, said Ivy confidently. She and Levi really believed that if her mom said this stuff worked, that it would. After all, their mom's hair and teeth always look great, so why would they ever doubt her advice? The kids asked more questions, like did their parents know they did this? Will their teeth be brown forever? Will the marshmallow come out of their hair? And even one hungry friend asked if they had any chocolate or marshmallows left over for him to eat. Levi and Ivy answered everyone's questions, assuring them that they had to wait a little longer for the chocolate and marshmallows to work. And when the time was right, they would all see how great they looked. And of course our parents know, said Ivy. It was our mom who told us about doing this and how great it makes your teeth and hair look. Your mom always does have nice teeth and hair, said Cece, sounding a bit confused, but also a little more interested now. Do you have any marshmallows or chocolate left so I can try too? Not with us, Cece. Sorry, replied Levi. Well, I have some chocolate pudding in my lunch bag, said Kyle. Will that work? I mean, it's chocolate, so I guess it could, Levi answered. Why not give it a try? Then one by one, a bunch of the kids in the playground opened their lunches to see what other interesting beauty products they could discover. How about bananas in your hair? Asked one girl. It would smell nice no matter what, so I'd say go for it, said Ivy. I have some ranch dressing for my carrot sticks, said another little boy. You won't know if it makes your teeth shiny unless you try, said Levi. So one by one, the crowd of kids that had formed around Levi and Ivy all started their own little spa treatments using whatever they had packed in their lunch bag. That is until their principal wandered over to see what was going on. It took only a moment to realize that this was something he could have not imagined. Principal Cooper didn't know how to react, but looking at Levi and Ivy's sticky hair and brown teeth, he knew they may have some more information to give. Hey everyone, what's going on over here? It's not lunchtime yet, but I see a lot of food out, said Principal Cooper. After our mom told us that marshmallows give you shiny, soft hair and chocolate makes your teeth sparkle, we thought why not try out some other foods, added Ivy. Yeah, we're just trying some beauty hacks, said Levi. Want to try some ranch dressing toothpaste? No, thank you, answered Principal Cooper. Principal Cooper now had all the information he needed, and after asking all the other kids to put away their food, rinse the ranch dressing out of their mouths, and comb the bananas out of their hair, he walked Levi and Ivy to his office and called their parents. Don't worry, you're not in trouble, Principal Cooper said, reassuring a very nervous-looking Levi and Ivy. I just think there may have been some kind of miscommunication at home. I'm sure we'll all settle this in no time. After waiting in the principal's office for about 10 minutes, Levi and Ivy's parents arrived, and when they walked in, they were even more surprised than Principal Cooper had been. Levi, Ivy, what did you do? Called out their mom and dad, trying to hold back giggles. Now wait a minute. You two didn't see Levi and Ivy when they left for school this morning? Principal Cooper asked. No, we left them breakfast and had their lunches all packed up because we had an early morning video meeting, replied Levi and Ivy's dad. They didn't look like this when we put them to bed last night, and there's no way they had time to do all of this in the morning, said Levi and Ivy's mom. We're so sorry. We'll get them home and changed up right away. Yeah, we'll have them back to school as soon as possible, added Levi and Ivy's dad as he turned to leave with his family. Before you leave, I just have to know, how did this happen, Levi and Ivy? Asked Principal Cooper with a big smile on his face. I'm sure it's a great story. We were going to ask them that at home, said Levi and Ivy's mom. I can't wait for the answer either, and since they came into school looking like this, I think it would be fine for them to fill us in on why. At that point, knowing no one was in trouble and the kids were fine, Levi and Ivy's parents were smiling more and more. They weren't sure of what the answer for all of this would be, but they were both very excited to find out. Levi looked at Ivy as if to say, I'll start. And he did. Well, Mom, this all started when we heard you talking on your phone last night while we were playing in the backyard, began Levi. we had just talked about those, kitten mittens? Kid gloves? said Levi's mom with a smile. And how sometimes we can hear things incorrectly. And certain phrases mean certain things. And if you're confused by something someone says, you should ask them to explain it. Levi's mom suddenly felt a light bulb go off in her head. She was now pretty sure she knew what happened, but really wanted Levi and Ivy to try to explain it to her in their own words. Yep, Mom, that's it, continued Ivy. You were talking to your friend after you explained that all to us, and we were playing. We heard you say that marshmallows are great for your hair and that they make it shiny and soft. Then we heard you say that chocolate was great for brushing your teeth, said Levi. And that's what makes them super sparkly and clean. Even though it sounded a little weird, we love sweets so much that we didn't really want to look into it any further, confessed Ivy. But now that we look back on it, we probably should have. I understand completely, Levi and Ivy's mom said with a big laugh. And she was definitely the only one. Okay, I think now you have a little explaining to do, said Principal Cooper to Levi and Ivy's mom. What exactly do you understand completely? So everything they heard was true, answered Levi and Ivy's mom, much to everyone's surprise. Well, sort of. They heard me say those words, but they had all the meanings wrong. Yes, I did say marshmallow was great for my hair. My new hairdresser, that is, Marsha Mello. She just started at the salon in town. She just used some amazing products on my hair, and it's never been shinier or softer. Marsha? Exclaimed Levi. Mello? Added Ivy. It's your hairdresser? Not a tasty sweet treat? You've got it. And if you just asked, I would have told you that last night, replied Levi and Ivy's mom as she laughed at the misunderstanding. But what about the chocolate for your teeth? Asked Principal Cooper. Certainly your dentist's name isn't Chocolate Bar. No, I don't go to Dr. Chocolate Bar, but I do have my dental hygienist use chocolate-flavored scrubbing paste on my teeth when she polishes them, answered Levi and Ivy's mom. It has a sweet chocolatey taste, so much better than the mint or bubblegum flavors they had, and it makes my teeth extra sparkly. Levi and Ivy couldn't believe what they were hearing. I mean, they believed the night before, that's for sure. But after a little explanation, it was all so clear. Wow, I guess when it sounded too good to be true, we should have asked you about what we thought we heard, Mom, said Levi as Ivy nodded her head in agreement. That morning, everyone left Principal Cooper's office laughing, which was a very good thing when leaving a principal's office. And Levi and Ivy learned a few very valuable lessons that day. 1, clear communication is important. 2, not asking questions when the information you hear doesn't sound quite right can lead to misunderstandings. 3, no matter what anyone tells you, marshmallows and chocolate are better in s'mores than as a part of your hair care and dental routine. 4, and finally, if you leave melted marshmallows in your bath time toy bucket, don't forget to clean them out before your next bath, or you'll have a very sticky situation on your hands. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun Lively Lewis story with you.